asked yourself, is it finally the right time to hire someone to help me in my business? I mentioned in a previous video that in 2006, I joined a high-end mastermind coaching program. This coaching program that I joined way back in 2006 was an investment of almost $10,000 per year, of which I was a paying member of for almost 3 years. One of the first things that I learned in this high-end coaching program that I was a member of was that if I can pay someone $5 an hour to do something and I choose to do that task, then I'm literally making $5 an hour. When I first heard that, it literally blew my mind. I was thinking, that is so true, absolutely. If I can make more money, but I can't get more time. And what I really needed in my business at that time was more time. I had 5 kids, ages 5 and under, a 5-year-old, a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and 2 newborn babies that were twins. And I had a thriving business selling camping gear in the United States using drop shippers and later my own warehouse. And what I really needed was more time. So I immediately took action and hired someone. And that someone actually joined my team, and she ended up working with my company for over the next 10 years and was my very first hire, so that was amazing as well. And I immediately began to outsource and to delegate some of the tasks that I had on my plate that I was doing all of the time. And I also had a list of things that I wanted to get to someday that were all high priority and valuable, but I just didn't have time, and I was able to give those to her, and she was able to help me, and in turn that helped the business to grow even more. And I wanted to share with you about 3 things that I see that people do wrong when they try to hire someone. So the first thing that I see that people do wrong when they try to hire someone is they try to hire for a strategy, or they try to delegate strategy instead of tasks. So what I mean by that is when you first hire someone, let's say you want to hire someone to help you with social media for your business. So you make a posting, maybe it's in a Facebook group, or maybe you go to a website and you put up a job posting for a social media position, and you're like, I want someone to take over my social media, and I want them to plan the content calendar, and I want them to create SOPs, and I want them to create procedures. SOPs is standard operating procedures, and I want them to grow my list. And then you list the amount of results, and you're trying to hire for an A player. You're trying to hire someone that is going to help you at a very high level, and then you offer for payment for that person anywhere from $2 to $10, maybe $15 an hour, and you're trying to hire someone from the Philippines or India. Nothing against anyone from the Philippines or India at all, because there's a lot of highly qualified people in the Philippines or India. The problem is when you do something like this, you're trying to outsource strategy and not tasks. And so strategy is when you're saying, I'd like you to grow my social media presence from 1,000 to 10,000 in the next 90 days. That's a very strategic goal, but you're not setting up a plan or a system about how to reach that goal. So you're trying to outsource strategy. Versus outsourcing a task is when you say, I'd like you to post 4 times a day. I'd like you to post at 9 o'clock, at 12 o'clock, at 3 o'clock, and 6 o'clock. The 9 a.m. posts are going to be a motivational quote. The 12 o'clock posts are going to be a link to one of my articles that I have published on Inc. or Fortune 500. The 3 o'clock post is going to be a question that we're going to try to get engagement on. And then the 6 o'clock post is I want you to share someone else's content that is not a competitor, but it's highly valuable for my audience. So now you've created the strategy, and you're able to give that strategy to someone else to actually implement for you. That is how you do it. That's how you're hiring someone to delegate your tasks to. And how do you come up with those tasks? That's your job as the business owner. Or if you don't have time, you can hire someone like myself. I'm a fractional COO that helps companies that can come in and help you at the strategic level. You could hire someone that is more of a level of a director of operation, a director level of director of marketing, someone that is a high level consultant that has years and years of experience that can help you to figure out what that strategy is, what that strategic plan is. So that then after you have that strategy in place, you can then delegate that to the people that you've hired. So that's the first thing that I see that people do wrong. The second thing that I see that people do wrong is they try to pay too little, expecting to get amazing results. And I was guilty of this in the beginning. It's kind of funny when I look back to how we transitioned. This is another video, we'll be shooting another story about how we pivoted our business from an e-commerce business to a consulting business. And when we first got started hiring people to build, to do the SEO, to do search engine optimization for our e-commerce business, I had tasks down to a science. We had templates and we had checklists and we had exactly how to do it, and we could hire people off of, back then it was popular, a website called MTurk. I don't even know if they still exist today, or Mechanical Turk, where you could basically just outsource things for pennies on the dollar to mass volumes of people. And when I would build these systems and these strategies, in the very beginning, I would try to hire people, and locally in Mexico where we were living, I would hire a lot of people in the Philippines as well. And I would be paying them a very, very low amount. And it was based on their economy, it was based on where they lived. The problem was I was trying to keep my costs so low, especially since I was a missionary in Mexico and I wasn't used to hiring people and I wasn't used to paying out salaries. I was trying to keep our costs very low and pay out what I thought was on par with that local economy. The problem is the only people that would apply to work with me were the people that were beginners, the people that I had to train from zero and try to get them to go from zero all the way to where I wanted them to be. So I could pull someone off the street, get a body in a seat, they could follow my systems and procedures, and then they would be able, after a period of time, they would be able to become profitable to me, and I would have to stop. Well, ideally, that's the belief, is that you're going to be able to stop training them and they're going to become profitable to you. Most of the time, though, that did not happen. Most of the time, the people that are willing to come in at the very, very bottom, that are the beginners that do not have experience, they're going to take you a very long time to get them from where they are to where they need to be. And the time it's going to take you as a business owner to train up new people to get them from 0 to 10 is a long time. And all that time, you have just slowed your own business growth. I'm not saying you shouldn't have people on your team that you're growing, but it should not be the only type of people that you're hiring. So maybe you have, after you have a team of, 8 or 10 people, maybe you have an intern come in, or maybe you have someone that is a recent college graduate, or maybe it's your son or your daughter that you want to bring them up from 0 and then get them to 10. That would be okay. But the mistake that a lot of people make is they try to hire the cheapest that they can, and so they're saying, oh, it's no problem. I have my stops, I have my procedures. They're just going to follow this checklist. It's going to be no problem. Well, they come in, they follow your checklist and procedures, and then they literally will find 8,937 ways to break your procedures. And so then you spend all of your time fixing all the mistakes they made, and then adding more things to your checklist, more things to your procedures, shooting more videos to think of every single scenario that they have managed to figure out of how to break your perfectly built systems and procedures. And it's just a time suck. It just takes up all of your time, sucks out all the time from your already busy day. And so when you thought you were hiring someone to actually help you grow your business, it's actually causing a weight. It's weighing down your business and making things to go slower. And then the third mistake that I see a lot of business owners make is that they expect their team, and I made this mistake, is I expected my team to perform at my level. Now, in the mentorship program I was a part of in 2006, they did teach that no one will be able to do the job at your level, but I still thought that at some time, in some way, after working for some length of time with me, people would magically somehow get to perform like I'm performing. And the reality is, if you're watching this video, if you are a business owner, the reality is the people that you hire to work for you in your business, and I'm not talking about the consultants, I'm talking about the people that are going to get the stuff done, the people that are going to do all of the tasks. For them to get from where you are, from a task person to the strategic person, it's a huge jump. And it's not something that takes a year. It could take 10 years, it could take 20, and it could never happen. And so when I'm expecting people to perform at my level, that's something that you have to take very seriously, to try to mentor people and to train them up and to develop leadership skills into the people that you have on your team. It's a process. So what do I really mean by that though? So for example, if I give a task to someone to build a marketing funnel, and they build that marketing funnel, and then I say, okay, go test it. Yes, I test it. They come back and they say, okay, I tested it. I'll say, well, go test it again. Well, then they come back and they say, yeah, I tested it again. I'll say, okay, well, go check it again. Make sure you send yourself all of the emails, click on all of the links in the emails, check all of the grammar and spelling, make sure none of the links broke, make sure all of the timing is correct. And I give them a list and I say, check all of these things. And I could even show them, here is how I do the testing. And I have this detailed, complicated Excel file where I document the whole process, and they even follow that. I guarantee you, promise you almost, even if you have someone that does that for you, you as a business owner, you're gonna go in, you're gonna take a look and you're gonna go, oh, you missed this. Oh, you forgot about this. Oh, look, the headline's wrong. Oh, look. And it's not that they didn't try. It's not that they didn't give 100%. It's not that they didn't follow your procedures. They absolutely did. And they are doing their very best. But you as a business owner, you see things that no one else sees because you know your business like nobody else knows your business. And so you have to take a step back, and instead of coming in and criticizing, oh, you missed this, this, and this, you need to focus on the 99% of the things that they did get right, praise for those things, and then say, oh, look, we missed this. Here's an area of opportunity. Or maybe we can tweak this, and take ownership that you were the one that maybe didn't explain it correctly, or you didn't provide the correct documentation, or you didn't provide the correct picture, and not blame them that they didn't catch it. And that's what leadership is. Leadership is actually helping people to grow and taking responsibility for their growth. And a true leader, what they're going to do is they're going to praise when their team does something right. They're going to make sure all of their team gets all the credit. And if their team messes up, they're going to take responsibility. That's what true leadership looks like. And as you develop as a business owner and as someone that begins to hire other people, investing in your own leadership skills is what's going to help you to also be more successful and in your company, and to take your company to the next level. So that's what I got for you today. Thanks.